Oh, here we go, folks. You got us. You asked for it. You're going to get it. Here we go on the Charlie Mac Show. Hope you guys enjoy.
Shout out my boy, CMac, BKLYN, let's go. This is how we do it, kicking it with Charlie Mac. His bulldog Vicky, only thing he love more than his stack. It may be the Brooklyn way, but he spread it worldwide. This army boy from NYC got hella Irish pride. Catch him on YouTube doing precious metal reviews. Oh, we the silver degenerate performing an interview. You know we could take a walk up to the Brooklyn Bridge and back. Yeah, this is how we do it, kicking it with Charlie Mac. Yeah, this is how we do it, kicking it with Charlie Mac. We could hit the corner store just to grab ourselves a snack. You know that there's nothing better than just hanging with a friend, especially when you do it in BKLYN. And he your first responder, C-Mac's here to say the day. Don't forget to spread that love, cause it's the Brooklyn way. It ain't just a slogan, homie, that right there's a fact. Cause this is how we do it, kicking it with Charlie Mac.
Hey,
all
thank
right,
you
I like
all
that,
for
man. Kicking it
tuning
with Charlie Mac.
in. Gotta kick it with Charlie Mac. I gotta give props to my good friend Quinn. Hooked me up with the video, with the song, custom made for me. Check him out on Instagram. Quinn is a great community member. We're gonna talk about a couple of community members here. We've got Kevin, we've got Tommy. Talk a little bit about the channel. I think most of you all know already, but we kick it off. On this channel, we talk about precious metals, coins, paper money, bullion. We're bringing on people pretty much like weekly now, it seems. Really excited. Most of you know me, Charlie Mac. You should know from the intro video by now. But we got our good friend, Tommy, stacking NYC. Look, I'm like so nervous that I got two people on instead of one. So Tommy, say a quick hello. Tell the
How's it
people where
going,
you're from.
guys? Tommy stacking.nyc. You might know me. You might be tired of seeing my face, but that's okay.
Yeah,
I'll be
you see
around.
him. You've seen him all week. Make sure you follow him on Instagram, but we're also going to follow him tonight, especially on Whatnot. And tonight, folks, got a treat. We've got Kevin from Whatnot. Hello, Kevin.
What's up, everyone? You guys probably don't know me, but I'm Kevin from Whatnot. I lead the coins and money category. We're a new platform out there, so ask away for any questions, and happy to answer them.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. So tonight we're going to talk a little bit more on the platform itself, Whatnot. I know we're on YouTube. A lot of us are coming from Instagram and Facebook. So welcome, folks. Feel free, put a question in that chat window, and I will pop it up as long as it's relevant. Because we're going to talk a little bit about Whatnot. So a lot of the questions are going to talk about the buyer's experience. So I'll kind of talk about some things that I've gone through. Talk about the seller's experience. That's why we've got Tommy. And we're going to talk about the actual platform and how it can benefit us all. It's really important to kind of understand what works best for you as either a buyer or seller, because there's a lot of good categories that I've noticed in this platform. I think most of us are into precious metals. It's kind of the focus of today's talk, but we kind of want to learn a little bit more about the actual platform. So Kevin, one of the questions I got was when and where was the company founded? How did you guys all get started?
Yeah, so platform originally started, it's kind of iffy. I want to say late 2019, early 2020. Our founders kind of had this idea. Basically, they just wanted to start something up. They went through the Y Combinator. So it was originally founded as a Funko Pop marketplace, funnily enough, which is still one of our largest categories. So basically, kind of what StockX or GOAT and things are doing with sneakers, basically an authenticated marketplace. So for Funkos, that was a large space, a lot of fraud, like a lot of fraudulent items, a lot of scams going on. So they wanted to create a safe marketplace for that. Originally started out more as a static marketplace, like people would just post, we would authenticate and people could purchase and we'd ship them out. With the pandemic and everything, we shifted that model to what we are today, which is primarily focused on live stream. So that's a little bit newer, but we've definitely been doing that for, I think, a year and a half or more. But that's what we've been known for. We've seen the trends that have been out in Asia, where live streaming has been huge. Still up and coming in the States, and something we're trying to get ahead of and help build out.
Like my day job, my real full-time focus job, I work in the private security investigation type field of my day-to-day work. And just kind of doing a little research, before we even got this all started, I looked up, your company information, and you kind of look at your platform. Like, eBay, I think, was kind of like the place to sell things, and just visually, what to me wasn't that great. It's not aesthetically pleasing, kind of hard to search things. People kind of gravitated towards Facebook Marketplace and to Instagram, just other social media outlets to sell. And they're really not built for that type of environment with the structure. There was a really good article that I read. Folks, check it out. PR Newswire article that talks about the future of sales, and your platform is actually really built nicely for that, because you do have your live shows, but people also have the little option, that little store in the corner. They can click on the store button, and just coming from like the fraud and investigations, you have to verify every seller, right? You guys have to go through and
Right.
verify each person is a valid person. Tell us a little bit about that process. Is it easy? Is it hard?
It's it's a challenging process. So what we kind of do is we'll look for people that we think are good fits out in the community, reach out to them for the most part. So any message that you see in Instagram or through email is probably coming from me, or at least someone on the team. From there, we try to gauge interest, maybe give them a quick intro. And then the next step is to just hop on a one-on-one call. That call is, for me to kind of figure out, is this person a good fit? Like, would they be, a good seller and a good member of the community? Most importantly, what their experience is, how their inventory kind of looks, like a whole set of questions, kind of like a job interview. If everything seems like a fit, and obviously want to be a fit on both ends, so answer any questions they might have. We'll move on, and we'll give them live access, help them with some tips and tricks, some basics, and get them going on the platform. And we try to have a good feedback loop. So, Tommy's a seller with us. We text, a lot. He calls me a lot. I call him a lot. And we figure out, how do we make the platform better for everyone, for both sellers and buyers, and how do we also improve it for coins and money and for precious metals specifically.
Awesome. One of the things that I actually went through, just so you folks know, I had a hard time actually going through that process. I had to present credentials to verify I am who I am. I had to talk a little bit about products and inventory, which I don't have a lot, because I am not a full-time seller. I kind of do it for fun. It's a monetized hobby here and there. But I'll talk a little bit with Tommy and his process of becoming a seller. Tommy, how was your experience?
So I feel like because I'm an established business, like you said, you kind of do this as a monetized hobby. It was a little bit easier for me. I had all my documentation ready to go. Just like when I'm used to like establishing wholesale accounts. So the process for Whatnot for me wasn't as daunting. If you have your stuff together, and are able to reach out to Kevin and say, hey, or get somebody to reach out for you, the process can be expedited too, for reputable sellers with a strong background in sales. And I can say that Kevin is extremely responsive. Got to be one of the hardest working people I know. I think in the last month or so since we've been talking, he's been to more coin shows than I've been to. So I'm a little bit jealous.
Awesome.
Only been to two.
And it's a very different community. Like Instagram, you got the community aspect, and Whatnot is a little more focused, I think, on business. And I think that's important for everybody to know, whether you are going to do this full time, 8 days a week, nonstop, right? Like Tommy, you really should have your numbers in order. Even if you're going to do this just maybe part time, once a week, maybe once a month, have an inventory ready, because if you kind of look at the trends, you see this is a really good platform to be on, not just for precious metals, but there are so many other areas as well. We'll talk a little bit about that as well. From a buyer's point of view, I thought it was, pretty easy. I got caught up in like the first or second auction, just, winning some bids automatically out of the account, right to the seller, shipping and tracking information pretty much right away. So I thought that was really, really good. You kind of know who you're dealing with on on that app, because right away, as soon as something is done, it's checked, it's verified, it's ready to ship, and you get tracking.
Yeah.
One topic I think that comes up often with every platform, which everybody should really know and understand this, right? Whether it's a business, monetized hobby, the IRS wants to know tax structures on all items, buyers and sellers. It's a part of life, folks. We have to deal with that. If you go to the store, you're going to be paying taxes on your items. But another big one that came up was about referrals. How many referrals can someone obtain, and how does that process work, Kevin?
Yeah, so for referrals, to my knowledge, I don't think we have a limit, right? But it has to be like well vetted and legitimate. We'll have a whole team that like referral fraud is a big thing, like across any platform or any company, I think. Like I used to work at Uber, and there was definitely big referral frauds going on because we had a pretty robust program. Um, but like referrals are a great tool for getting both buyers and sellers. So on the buyer side, like if you go to your app and on the top right, you should see a gift box that has like $10. Um, that's a buyer referral link that you can send out. So it's like a give 10, get 10. Anyone that signs up with your link and makes a purchase, you'll get $10 towards your next whatnot purchase. It's basically site credit, and then the buyer who signs up will get $10 off towards their first purchase. On the seller side, we used to do it a little bit more informally, but now if you are a seller and you go to your profile, you should also see in the top right, it's $200 per referral. So it's the same thing or very similar. You would input someone's credentials. It would go through our system. We'd reach out if they seem like a good fit, get approved, and they go live and make sales, then that's $200 for whoever referred them. Or, easier way is you can reach out to Tommy or whoever, and then just email me the information, get that contact information. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Very cool, right? Folks, make sure you go download that app. Go check out Whatnot. We've already got comments rolling in. Lady D and Ellis is saying, nice to meet you, Kevin. She's probably the most friendliest person. We love D and Ellis. I joke around because every time I go to the dentist, she comforts me. So I love D and Ellis. It's my pal.
Lady D, I've seen you in some of the streams. So good to meet you.
She comforts you. I tell you to soldier on.
Yeah, he's like, suck it up, Buttercup. Let's go. Whatnot is starting to grow, right? We look at these platforms. Are you guys looking to purchase any other platforms that are out there on social media?
I don't really know, and if I knew, I don't know if I'd be at liberty to say. But we're kind of focused on building out our own business. I think our space is growing. It's still newer. We're probably seeing new players pop up, but we're pretty confident that we've built a good product. We've started building out a great community. We have great sellers and buyers on there that I think if we just keep focused and keep moving on, that's kind of our game plan.
Yeah, I definitely think you guys kind of take away the bad actors, if you will, that are out there, and you do your best to try to do that. What items can people post to sell on your app? Is it just coins? Is it just Funko Pops?
Yeah, so I would say our bread and butter and like how we got started and how we got really big was collectible items, right? Like our biggest category is probably the sports cards. And then we're also very big in toys, like Funkos obviously was our beginning, and that's, we're still very strong there. Comics, and like my team is primarily focused on launching what we call new verticals or new categories. So like some of our new big categories were kind of born out of people like me just, reaching out to sellers and trying to build up that community. So like retro games, like action figures under toys, wasn't really a thing like 5 or 6 months ago. And now, they're really big. In terms of what you can sell, I would say like you can probably sell anything that you want. Obviously, legal and that makes sense. But
Sure.
a lot of the things that we're doing, you'll find under and whatnot in our categories in the app. Like that list is growing every week. Like I think when I first joined, it was just like coins and money and mechanical keyboards, and now I think you got like crystal gems, you got like Diziana, you got vinyls under there. So we're constantly trying to expand. Like you'll see we're trying to do things that are a little bit more mass appeal as well. Like I think collectibles is where we've really found our footing, but now we're kind of looking at fashion. Sneakers has been really big for us. Vintage and thrift, like we recently brought on someone to build that out more dedicated, and that's been doing really great. So
Cool.
yeah,
Very nice.
a whole swath of things. Like if anything you want to sell, like just go to and whatnot and put it under other, and
Gotcha.
go for it.
So, one of the things I was just curious of too is artwork, because I know that that's kind of a niche thing. I'm not selling this. This is a good gift from someone, but they had a question. If they do wood burning art, if they did custom jewelry, is that something that they'd be eligible to put on your website for sale?
Yeah, I'm on the app right now, but you probably can't see it, but arts and crafts is one of the new things that we added recently.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I actually got a couple of two separate questions comes up. Can two sellers sell live together at the same time?
So we have this concept of co-hosting, which Tommy, I think you've done before with someone. But basically there would be the main seller's account, and then they can select someone from the audience to also go live too. But like all the transaction stuff would go through the main account, but the person that's co-hosting can also talk and stuff like
cool. that. We love our dual auctions, and the commissioner Tommy, big on that. Another quick question that came in as well: can someone go live and sell a PC or computer?
Can they go live via PC?
I can't see. I had the glasses. I still can't see.
Well, I guess the answer to both is yes. Like technically, you can if you want to sell computers, like you can try testing it out in the and whatnot category. We're also like very open to new category suggestions too. So if you think there's something that might be a good fit, like you can either try testing it out yourself or put it in the suggestion box for us. Cool. And then in terms of selling via PC or using a PC, we have unlocked that. So we used to be exclusively going live through the mobile app, but now we've been playing around with the desktop version so people can use webcams. The main software that we've been integrating with is OBS. I would say last time I checked, it was still kind of in like a beta testing phase. Like we've had sellers use it. Maybe not 100% compatible, but it works.
Cool.
And it's something that we're constantly trying to improve on.
I'm just learning like OBS, through this fun page that I have here. And, I like, the mobile device, but I can totally understand some people wanting to be at their desktop or PC.
Yeah. I think there's more bells and whistles through OBS.
Yeah, definitely make it look a lot cooler. This one actually geared towards Tommy, Stacking NYC, on the seller's end. How does shipping and tracking work exactly? Someone, wins a bid, they win one of your auctions, or they actually purchase directly on Whatnot.
Right. So, I mean, from the seller's perspective, it's actually much easier than, say, selling on Instagram. Instagram can be really difficult. The thing that's going to bog most sellers down on Instagram is going to be communication and fulfillment, right? And actually, the truth is, Whatnot eliminates all of that. So I find that for me, fulfillment is actually a little bit easier via Whatnot.
I think too, and I noticed it, and I noticed that you have actually mentioned this before. There's like zero lag. When you are on Whatnot, it is like right up to the millisecond sometimes.
Yes.
Where Instagram and Facebook Marketplace, you
sometimes I feel like I know what people are going to type before they type it. There's so little lag.
Yeah. And does that mess you up with purchases or wins?
It helps, actually. And if you miss something because it's happening so fast, you can always just say, hey, I missed it, guys, and somebody can repeat themselves. And it's just, I prefer, honestly, in terms of the pure chat function, far superior.
One thing that I noticed too, and I think people just have to get used to the platform, just where all the buttons are on everything.
That's right.
The auction, I think the very first one you did, I think they call it sudden death, where it's like 1 minute countdown and go.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, I
pretty cool.
tried that. It was, being new on the app, and then I said, I'm not doing that again. I didn't feel comfortable with the speed at which it occurred personally. Other sellers may find that that's suitable for their style, but I prefer a little bit of a slower pace where, the way I do it now, every time somebody bids, there's another 15 seconds added. So it gives people a moment to process, to think, to understand that they're getting a good value.
Absolutely. And folks, feel free, if you have questions, ask them. I will definitely put them in the chat for both Tommy and Kevin. I guess this question could go to both you guys. Tommy, we'll start with you, then we'll go to Kevin. What is something you've sold that you wish you still had?
It's a toss-up between my reverse-proof Kilo Libertad or the Community Pour Bar that I decided I had to let go of the sentimentality, and I sold it to Captain Coda for what I paid for it, basically. But that was those are two of my trophies.
If it's going to go to anybody, we all know it's going to Coda.
I made him that promise the day I bought it. I said, if I ever sell it, it'll go to you, and it'll be for what I paid for it.
God. Kevin, how about you?
Maybe not something that I sold, but something I owned that was sold. My mom sold my old Xbox 360 and all the games back in the day to GameStop for, a very small amount. But now I go into our retro game stream sometimes, and I'm like, wow, should have held on to those.
I know the pain. I went through that many years ago with Sega Genesis. I traded a whole bunch of cool toys and a CB radio and some cash money, and then that was out the door because I was a bad teenager back in the day.
I mean, who would have thought, right? Like, you have like some obsolete technology, in terms of video games, and you're like, yeah, they're probably not worth that much. And then boom, nostalgia factor, people want to relive their childhoods and are willing to pay up for it.
So one thing I actually did find out, and I mentioned this to Tommy last time. So I'm actually on the Whatnot app right now, and if I press the home button, it's still in the background. So I think this is, so cool if you're, multitasking.
I like it.
Yeah.
And, hey, boom, you get your alerts.
Yeah.
Scared the heck out of me.
I don't think it works as well on the Android, just as a heads up to people, but yeah, it's there. It's a good feature.
It's a good reminder too. I literally walk my dog and I get ready for the auctions at 8:30, and I forgot it was on. Came back, and as I'm walking through the streets of Brooklyn, I just hear, Tommy's loud mouth, hey, what's up, guys? It's auction time. And I'm like, yeah, boom, start my auctions right in the middle of the street, trying to get, out of the way of an 18-wheel truck. So it's got some really cool features there.
Yeah, for sure. It's our hard engineering team. They're always iterating on it. Sometimes a little too quickly, I think.
Are you a precious metals collector or seller, would you say, Kevin?
I'll be fully transparent. I was brought into the role to just help launch and grow categories. So, my first one that I kind of dived into was coins and money. That was more or less just assigned to me, but I've been trying to get into it. Like, I go into the streams, I try to support our sellers. Like, I have like a couple things that I bought off people, including Tommy. So, I'm diving in there. These Libertads from Tommy.
You gotta get you hooked up. Get some, 10-ounce bars. Some gold. Gold is always, fun to collect. I love silver certificates. You get these for a few bucks. I think it's like show and tell time. I actually have to kind of fix my page and storefront because I have a 9/11 recovery eagle. I'm gonna be putting up there. It's on Instagram already, but you do meet a lot of really cool and fun people, and you learn a lot as well. I know Tommy talks more on the bullion side of things, but the numismatics, that crew will teach you a lot about coins as well.
So Charlie, I only have a few more minutes. I do want to bring something up that I get asked a lot as a seller, and Kevin can address this. If somebody lives in a non-tax state, they are currently getting taxed, but there is a way for them to recoup and get their money refunded. Can you walk our guests through this process, please?
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, we understand that some states don't tax on Bullion or certain types of coins. It's also the same thing for like clothing and fashion. We, as a younger company, we're constantly trying to build out the right infrastructure to support these things. Sometimes, with the limited resources, it doesn't always get prioritized. So in this case, right, like, you as a buyer, like, shouldn't be paying up or penalized for, things that we just can't keep up with. So if you just write into buyer support and you just tell them like, hey, like, I'm in a tax exempt state, I got taxed on this, like, they will refund you. So we're good on that. We try to make it right, and we understand, what the right tax laws are.
Who would somebody contact to seek a refund on taxes?
Yeah, just be support@whatnot.com.
Support at whatnot.com.
Support at whatnot.com. I'll make sure I put that in the link in the description as well. Folks, you should also check out their website. They actually have a FAQ, frequently asked questions. Pretty sure we're all going to have the same information. It's a really great resource. Folks, we try to keep it short, sweet, talk a little bit about the app buyer's side, seller's side, the company side of things. Kevin, I always like to end my lives with a little bit of fun. We have a fun game, little this or that. I'm going to ask you 3 quick questions. You give me the answer that comes to mind. Let's have a little bit of fun. Are you ready? Here we go. Better actor, Kevin Bacon or Kevin Costner?
Oof. I'll go with Kevin Costner. He's had some leads. Kevin Bacon, I don't know. I think he acts in weird roles.
Better athlete, Kevin Garnett or Kevin Durant?
Ooh. I grew up in Massachusetts, and Garnett did bring us a championship. So Kevin Garnett, KG.
All right. My favorite, I think everybody loves a good joke here and there. The better comedian, Kevin Hart or Kevin Smith?
I'm gonna give it to Kevin Hart. I think he's hilarious. He makes up for his height with his energy.
Definitely, he is funny. Folks, want to thank you all for tuning in. If you have any questions, throw them down in the comments. We will definitely get back to you with our sessions here. Very important. We're logging off of here on YouTube. Go check Tommy. Tommy?
Hold on one second. Lady D did ask one more question about how do you calculate the shipping charges? And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's $3.50 for the first item and $1 for each additional item that you win or purchase. So if you order 10 items, it would be $3.50 plus 9. It would be $12.50. And obviously, if you're ordering 9 items, especially in the bullion world, it's going to be a priority box. So, and that includes your shipping, your insurance, etc.
Got it.
So,
got it. And I think that's something to bring up too, where I think a lot of the folks here will be on Instagram. They might tune into Whatnot. Can we combine shipping for those folks? Just reach out to you.
Reach out to me. It's a little bit tricky for me to do that right now. Every time somebody gets a package on Whatnot, I do have to perform fulfillment through Whatnot. So it's tricky for me. I will say that from the buyer experience, because I've also bought on Whatnot, I really like it. The tracking goes right to my email. There are some great sellers there. It's not, because it's a new category, it's not as well established a community as we have on Instagram and our Silver Degenerates community, but it will get there. It will get there. And I'm going to help, hopefully, to guide it there along with all of you. On the month of April, I'll be on Whatnot every Tuesday and Thursday, just giving it a little extra push. I really like the app. I think that it's got a bright future because if any of you are paying attention, I think that the big social media sites are sort of squashing peer-to-peer sales. Pay attention to this, guys. It's our days are numbered there, and so at the end of the day, you're gonna have to pay the devil his due, whether it's paying 10% on eBay or 8% on Whatnot. I'd rather pay 8% and have a live, entertaining, educational format where people can really connect and have community.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have been saying this, as many times as I can, just because of the work that I do. I would rather purchase from someone I know and is trusted and well known to get my goods. So that's just something for me. Want to make sure I get my items from a valid source. and we appreciate the platform that you have, Kevin. Kevin, anything you want to end this evening with? You want to tell the folks?
I just want to say thank you for having me, Charlie Mac, and go check out Tommy and Whatnot. You can find the link somewhere, I'm guessing. If you don't have the app, go download it, go sign up.
Yep.
And just have
there is a link. There is a link in my bio for Get 10. That link is still in my bio. If you order a tube, if the tube is one item, no, then it would be $350. So that's the upside of that one, Jeff.
I think there'll be pros and cons to everything, but the main thing is
that's right.
You got to stack. That's it. How you stacking? Stacking right
it.
now. That's what we got to do, folks. We are heading out. We are all gonna go probably jump in Tommy's auction in just a few minutes. I got the device ready. I got my credit card ready to go.
We're gonna see some stuff you haven't seen yet, guys. A couple cool pieces I'll be breaking out, including the Lube Bay and what's in this box.
Oh, what's in the box? Check you out
now, guys. I'll see you there.
Take care. Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Good job, Charlie. Thank you.
Oh, we're still live. Oh, let's get out of here. Go download Whatnot. Check it out. Participate. Buy, sell. Have a great evening. Spread love. It's the Brooklyn way.